I appreciate all my Zeus family. I have fun on Bad Boy Season 2 Texas. I got my brothers with me. We all doing our thing. We in one place together. And it looks so great. Y'all save me. Y'all niggas really saved me, bro. I was gonna go on the straight jack. They told you Orlando Brown was crazy. Hey, Zeus Network, y'all got me out of jail. And I'm just letting anybody know that want to with Zeus, bro. Like, it's just like, yo, bro, like, just be yourself. It's your boy, Obi.
You ever wake up, scroll your phone, and suddenly realize the internet shows violence before breakfast? Because that's exactly what happened the moment Orlando Brown decided to open his mouth and light a match inside a gasoline factory called Zeus Network. And somehow, someway, Chrisean Rock woke up that morning and found herself standing directly in the blast zone. This wasn't a rumor. This wasn't a whisper. This wasn't a sources say moment. This was one of those unhinged, internet-breaking, group chat on fire situations where everybody freezes and says, wait, did he really just say that? Because when Orlando talks, it's never a sentence. It's a grenade. And this time, the shrapnel flew straight toward Zeus and landed right on Chrisean's doorstep. And let's be clear, this scandal didn't knock politely. It kicked the door off the hinges, stole the furniture, flipped the cameras on, and yelled, "Roll the footage." This makes reality TV look scripted. This makes celebrity beef look organized. This makes the Kardashians look like a calm yoga retreat. So buckle up. Because what you're about to hear isn't just messy. It's strategic chaos. It's viral warfare. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why Zeus is sweating, why Chrisean is trending, and why Orlando Brown just pressed the nuclear button on celebrity internet culture. It started the way all internet disasters start: quiet, one post, one clip, one moment where someone should have logged off but instead chose chaos. Because when Orlando Brown decides to talk, it's never a conversation. It's a controlled demolition. And this time, the blast radius reached straight into the heart of Zeus Network, dragging Chrisean Rock into a firestorm she didn't light but couldn't escape. No press release, no warning, no PR cushion. Just claims dropped with the confidence of a man who knew exactly what he was doing. The internet didn't pause to fact-check. It leaned in like someone overhearing a fight through thin apartment walls. Because when Orlando speaks, people don't hear truth or lies. They hear potential chaos. And chaos is the internet's favorite genre. Within minutes, Zeus went from reality TV juggernaut to trending topic with the wrong kind of attention. Not the new episode just dropped buzz. The legal team just woke up kind of buzz. And right in the middle of that digital riot stood Chrisean Rock. Whether she liked it or not, here's the part nobody tells you about fame inside controversial spaces. You don't have to say anything to be accused of everything. Chrisean didn't make the claims. She didn't repeat them. She didn't even respond immediately. But the moment Orlando connected dots, the internet filled in the rest with permanent marker. Suddenly, people weren't asking what Orlando said. They were asking why Chrisean was quiet. And silence online isn't neutral. Silence is suspicious. Silence is guilt adjacent. Silence becomes a character flaw once the algorithm gets bored. Old Zeus clips resurface like they'd been waiting in a vault for this exact moment. Scenes that once played as wild entertainment were now reframed as evidence. Arguments that felt exaggerated for TV were suddenly described as patterns. Reactions once brushed off as dramatic were now labeled as warning signs nobody wanted to acknowledge earlier. This is how scandals evolve. Not through new information, but through old footage re-edited by public opinion. And let's talk about Zeus for a second. This network didn't just build a brand. It built a reputation. Loud personalities. Explosive moments. No filters. No apologies. That formula worked until someone outside the machine disrupted the narrative. Orlando wasn't a cast member. He wasn't promoting a season. He wasn't protecting ratings. He was throwing rocks from the outside and watching the glass crack. The audience didn't need confirmation. They needed conflict. And Chrisean, being one of Zeus's most visible stars, became the face people projected everything onto. Love her or hate her, she represents the chaos people either celebrate or condemn. That made her unavoidable in this conversation. Comment sections turned into battlegrounds. One side claimed Orlando was exposing truths people were too scared to say. The other side dismissed it as another episode in his unpredictable history. But both sides agreed on one thing. Zeus looked nervous. And when a network built on mess starts looking uncomfortable, people assume there's more behind the curtain. Chrisean's fans rush to defend her, reminding everyone that association isn't guilt. That being visible doesn't mean being responsible. That silence doesn't equal admission. Meanwhile, critics treated the situation like confirmation bias served hot. Every rumor fit their narrative. Every pause fed suspicion. The most dangerous part wasn't what was said. It was what people imagined next. Think about it. The internet doesn't wait for facts. It creates sequels before the original story even finished loading. Suddenly, hypothetical situations were treated like leaked truths. Speculation wore the costume of certainty. And Chrisean's name stayed attached to all of it, whether the details made sense or not. And Zeus did what corporations always do when things get uncomfortable. Nothing. At least publicly. But silence from a network that thrives on constant noise feels louder than any statement. It feels strategic. It feels calculated. And the audience always assumes strategy means damage control. Behind the scenes, you could almost hear the phones buzzing, lawyers whispering, executives refreshing Twitter like it owed them money. Because once a scandal escapes containment, you don't control the narrative anymore. The crowd does. Orlando Brown didn't need to provide proof. He didn't need structure. He didn't need follow-up. He dropped the claim and let the internet do what it does best. Tear everything apart, rebuild it wrong, and call it a conclusion. And Chrisean Rock? She became the main character in a storyline she never auditioned for. Her past, her image, her association with Zeus all merged into one messy headline that refused to disappear. The kind of headline that sticks even if nothing ever comes of it. That's the cruel math of viral controversy. Intent doesn't matter. Context doesn't matter. What matters is traction. And this story had it in bulk. By the time people started asking rational questions, the damage was already trending. The scandal wasn't about facts anymore. It was about perception. And perception online spreads faster than the truth ever could. This wasn't the explosion. This was just the spark. Because once celebrities, influencers, and meme pages got involved, this situation stopped being a rumor and turned into a cultural moment. And moments like this don't fade quietly. They escalate. Once the spark caught, the fire didn't spread normally. It exploded sideways, backwards, and straight through every corner of social media like someone dropped gasoline into the algorithm and hit boost. What started as claims instantly transformed into a full-blown cultural meltdown. And suddenly everyone had an opinion, a theory, and a hot take they were way too confident about. This is the phase where scandals stop belonging to the people involved and start belonging to the crowd. Meme pages smelled blood first. Within hours, screenshots, clips, and sarcastic captions flooded timelines. Some were ruthless. Some were hilarious. Some were so reckless they felt like they should have come with legal disclaimers. And right at the center of it all was Chrisean Rock, frozen in thumbnails, reaction images, and side-by-sides like she was the poster child for a controversy she didn't author. The jokes came fast, but so did the outrage. Because for every meme laughing at the situation, there were 10 comments arguing over whether this was exposure or exploitation. People weren't just debating what Orlando Brown said anymore. They were debating whether they were even allowed to listen to him. His name alone split timelines in half. To some, he was the ultimate unreliable narrator. To others, he was the one person reckless enough to say what others wouldn't dare touch. And the wild part is this. Both sides thought they were the smartest ones in the room. Celebrity reactions didn't help calm anything down. Instead of shutting it down, vague posts started popping up like smoke signals. You know the kind. Tweets about truth always coming out. Instagram stories about fake narratives. Subtweets so obvious they might as well have been press conferences. Nobody named names, but everybody knew who the posts were about. And that ambiguity, that's gasoline. Every time a public figure hinted without explaining, the internet filled in the blanks with its wildest imagination. Suddenly, old beefs were dragged back into the conversation, and related scandals were stitched together like a conspiracy quilt. People started connecting dots that weren't even on the same page, and then came the think pieces, long threads. Deep dives. Armchair investigations written by people who discovered Google 2 minutes ago. They broke down timelines, replayed interviews, slowed down footage, analyzed body language like they were auditioning for a true crime documentary. Everything became suspicious. Tone, facial expressions. Past silence. Past noise. Nothing escaped scrutiny, and right when you thought it couldn't get louder, Zeus Network became the main character. People weren't just talking about the claims anymore. They were talking about the brand, the culture, the environment Zeus had built. Some called it entertaining. Others called it exploitative. And once the word enters the chat, things never stay surface level. Viewers started questioning moments they once cheered for. Was it always just drama? Or was it something darker packaged as entertainment? Scenes that once felt outrageous but funny were now replayed with serious commentary layered on top. Reaction videos multiplied like rabbits. Everyone wanted to be the one who finally said it, and Chrisean. She was trapped in the middle of a narrative tug-dash where her supporters went into full defense mode, pointing out that being loud, messy, and emotional doesn't equal guilt. That being associated with a network doesn't mean you cosign every rumor attached to it. That dragging her name through speculation was lazy and unfair. And they weren't wrong. But the internet doesn't reward fairness. It rewards momentum. Meanwhile, critics treated every second of her silence like a confession countdown. The longer she didn't speak, the louder the theories became. If it wasn't true, she'd deny it. If she was innocent, she'd say something, as if public figures owe immediate explanations on demand like customer service chatbots. And let's talk about Orlando for a moment. Because whether people believed him or not, he had already won one thing: attention. His name was everywhere again. Clips resurfaced, interviews replayed, his history debated like a documentary series. People tried to contextualize him, dismiss him, or decode him. But in doing so, they amplified him. That's the uncomfortable truth about viral chaos. Even disbelief fuels the fire. The scandal reached the point where it wasn't even about what was said anymore. It was about what it represented. People projected their frustrations with reality TV, celebrity culture, and social media exploitation onto this one situation. It became symbolic. A lightning rod for everything people already felt uneasy about. And once something becomes symbolic, logic exits the building. Every hour brought a new angle, a new clip, a new theory, a new insider claiming knowledge they couldn't prove. And the audience ate it up because this wasn't just drama anymore. This was spectacle. The kind that keeps people scrolling long after they should have gone to sleep. By now, reputations were shifting in real time. People who once loved Zeus questioned their loyalty. People who once dismissed Orlando reconsidered listening. People who once defended Chrisean grew tired of explaining nuance in a comment section that didn't care. This was no longer a scandal. It was a referendum on celebrity chaos itself. And the scariest part, nobody had officially said anything substantial yet. No statements, no clarifications, no confirmations, just noise. Endless, echoing noise, which meant one thing was inevitable. When the dust finally settled, the fallout wasn't going to be quiet. Careers, relationships, and public perception don't bounce back easily once they've been dragged through this kind of digital war zone. And as the internet prepared for the next shoe to drop, one question hung heavy in the air. Eventually, Every internet wildfire reaches the same moment. The flames stop spreading, the smoke lingers, and everyone looks around wondering who actually got burned. This is that moment. The part of the scandal where jokes slow down, timelines quiet slightly, and reality taps the shoulder of chaos and says, yeah, we need to talk. Because once the memes get tired and the outrage runs out of fresh adjectives, consequences step in to finish the job. By this point, the narrative had already done its damage. Not because of confirmed facts, but because perception had been permanently altered. And perception, in celebrity culture, is currency. Once it's devalued, no apology tour or silence strategy can fully restore it. For Chrisean, the shift was immediate and undeniable. She didn't need to be named directly in every headline anymore. Her image alone triggered the association. That's how deep the scandal dug in. She became shorthand for the controversy, whether she deserved it or not. Every appearance, every post, every move was now filtered through suspicion or defense depending on who was watching, and that's exhausting. Because being controversial by choice is one thing. Being controversial by proximity is another. One makes you powerful. The other makes you vulnerable. You could feel the tension in how people talked about her. Supporters doubled down, almost aggressively protective, like they knew the internet doesn't forgive easily. Critics softened their language but sharpened their conclusions, framing everything as just asking questions while already having answers in mind. And Zeus faced a reckoning it couldn't edit out. For a network built on controversy, this was different. This wasn't cast drama. This wasn't a storyline wrapped neatly into episodes. This was outside noise breaking inside the house. And when the audience starts questioning the house itself, the foundation feels less stable. Viewers who once tuned in for chaos now asked whether the chaos had crossed a line. Commentators debated whether Zeus was merely reflecting culture or exploiting it. Sponsors, collaborators, and industry insiders quietly reassessed optics. Because while controversy drives clicks, it also attracts scrutiny. And scrutiny doesn't care about ratings. The network's silence stopped feeling strategic and started feeling heavy. The longer nothing was addressed, the more people assumed there was something to hide. That's the paradox of crisis management. Say nothing, and people imagine everything. Say too much, and you confirm fear. Either way, the clock keeps ticking. Meanwhile, Orlando Brown remained exactly what he has always been: a disruptor, a wild card, a figure people argue about more than they understand. Whether viewers believed him or dismissed him, his role in this saga was sealed. He had shaken the table. And once a table shakes, everything on it moves. The irony is this: Orlando didn't need validation. The reaction was the victory. The chaos proved the point, regardless of intent. In the attention economy, truth is optional. Impact is everything. What followed wasn't explosive. It was quieter, more uncomfortable. Conversations shifted from "did you see this?" to "what does this mean?" That's when scandals mature. When people stop laughing and start recalibrating their beliefs. Chrisean's career didn't end, but it didn't stay untouched either. That's the nuance nobody likes to admit. Most scandals don't destroy careers outright. They reshape them. They change how the audience watches, how brands engage, how critics frame narratives. She would move forward, but not the same way. The margin for error shrank. The benefit of the doubt became conditional. The spotlight got harsher. And that's a cost no contract fully compensates for. The internet, of course, moved on to the next crisis. It always does. Another headline, another meltdown, another trending name. But this one left residue, the kind that resurfaces anytime similar controversies arise. The kind people reference with "remember when?" That's how legacies quietly change. And Zeus learned the hardest lesson of all. When you profit from chaos, you don't control how chaos evolves. Eventually, it stops performing and starts interrogating. The audience that once celebrated disorder becomes the jury deciding whether the spectacle went too far. This scandal didn't end with a confession or a bombshell revelation. It ended with something more unsettling: ambiguity, questions unanswered, narratives half resolved. And in today's culture, unresolved tension is the most powerful ending of all, because unresolved stories don't fade. They linger. They resurface. They become chapters instead of footnotes. So where does that leave everyone? Chrisean stands at a crossroads between resilience and redefinition. Zeus stands at the edge of scrutiny, can't laugh off forever. Orlando remains a reminder that chaos doesn't need permission to speak. And the audience gets exactly what it asked for. Entertainment with consequences. And if history has taught us anything, it's this: when scandals end quietly, it's usually because the next one is already loading. Now let's be honest. If you made it this far, you weren't just watching. You were invested. You didn't click this video by accident. You clicked because you know when chaos starts bubbling, this channel is where the truth, the mess, and the madness collide. And this story? This was just another reminder that celebrity drama doesn't knock anymore. It kicks the door in and steals the W.I-V. So do me a favor. Smash that like button like it owes you rent and dodge your calls. Hit subscribe like you're trying to lock in front row seats to the next internet meltdown. And turn on notifications, because these scandals don't wait for permission, and neither do we. Drop a comment right now and tell me this. Do you think Orlando Brown was exposing something real? Or was this pure internet chaos doing what it does best? And where does Chrisean Rock land in all this? Caught in the crossfire? Or part of the storm? Say it with your chest. The comment section is the real after so. And don't get it twisted. This isn't a one-off. The internet drops new scandals daily, celebrities slip up hourly, networks panic quietly, and we stay watching, analyzing, and calling it exactly how it looks. No filters, no fake outrage, just pure, uncut celebrity chaos. So if you like your commentary sharp, your drama unhinged, and your breakdowns one step ahead of the headlines, you already know what to do. Subscribe, stay locked. Stay messy. Because when the next bombshell drops, and it will, you'll hear it first right here. Until then, stay alert, stay curious, and remember, celeb ruckus doesn't chase scandals. Scandals chase celeb ruckus. Chase scandals. Scandals chase celeb ruckus.